Next, we would like to move to Dr. Prashant GARG, sir, for his talk on AI for the educator. The time is now. Slides illa ingeyo.
Good morning, everyone, and by the time I hope my slides get on, I think I'd like to thank Prajna for creating path for my talk as well. What we realize from the Prajna's talk is that technology is really making education much more effective, and it's a time that we become familiar with what are different technologies that are available. And I think while in Prajna's talk still there is a content uploadation, but I think one part of his talk was that cursor moves immediately to where Dr. Krishna Prasad is giving explanation. How this happens, and I think I'll just play the devil's role of what is happening in the background is the artificial intelligence is working constantly on looking at where people are making mistake. So this is very unfortunate that I uploaded the presentation on 31st in the morning. I gave the presentation here and still the presentation is not there. I don't know whom to blame, but if there is no presentation, I'll just give you the brief that artificial intelligence is used in every aspect of education. Right from being a teacher to modulating teaching to even facilitating learner to modulate their learning at the pace and the pattern they want to learn. AI is also used to assess not just the answer sheets, but also to assess the skill both in the diagnosis as well as surgical. You are all familiar with the simulation. There are also virtual patients and the virtual data that AI creates based on the level of intelligence that the learner has and try to expose them in a graded manner to the problems of increasing difficulty so that they continue to learn. They are also used to assess their surgical capabilities, and today's simulations are not just giving you the hands-on experience, but they rather are putting you into increasing level of difficulty so that you learn a variety of cases and your learning is also assessed. The AI is also used in variety of administrative tasks as well, right from keeping track of the students' performance in various assessments. They are also used to manage the finance. So it was AI that worked, or it is human brain that worked?
Two questions. Have you made it, or you got it from AI?
What?
The presentation.
I made it.
You made it, huh? And I am against AI because if you had used AI, you would not have spoken till now. That's why I'm against AI.
No, we may be against AI. I think the title of my talk is that while each one of us have our own opinion about technology, as Prajna said, the world is moving at a pace where the next generation of learners may have a different perspective. And what I will suggest that while we may not use it blindly, there is going to be areas where we can incorporate. Think about pilots. If you have to learn the whole flying onto the actual plane, you will find that the cost of that training will be much higher. In patient care, we have moved away from being purely an apprenticeship-based training to giving them lot of experience in virtual clinics as well as using simulation. And that helps not only the the human beings and the patient, but also gives a good experience to people to continue to learn and enhance their skills. I think the gist of the talk is that the AI is slowly gaining momentum in coming into various aspects of education, including medical education. But the major benefit is going to come in terms of their learning or enhancing their learning as far as patient interaction, diagnostic capability, as well as surgical skills are concerned. Let me also put a caution, like what just now we heard, that AI is basically dependent upon the kind of data that you infuse in building an AI. And if the data is not robust, there can be an inherent bias in the AI platform that are being created. And therefore, whenever we are using AI for our educational purposes, we should ensure that we used it in a judicious manner. There are ethical considerations also, and we should be all familiar with the ethics that are behind creating these AI portals as well as utilizing AI portal. And the third and most important is many times the answers to questions are prepared by a student purely using AI. Now that in a long run will hamper their creative thinking capability, problem solving capabilities, and therefore they will lose that which is very, very essential in a medical field. So we need to be cautious, but I think it's a time that we need to embrace it in a manner that it become a productive for our medical education. So way forward is that we should ourselves become familiar with what are ways in which AI is used in medical education, number one. Number two, we should also include AI as a part of curriculum to our next generation of clinicians and ophthalmologists. That way they will have a good exposure of what are different tools. Like what Prajna gave an example, the teacher is not aware of that there is some kind of a platform available, whereas the students might be using it. So it is good to prepare students by giving in or including AI into curriculum. More important is that we educate them about some of the risks involved in using AI illogically, because it not only makes them redundant as far as their critical thinking, but it gives them vulnerability. They may use wrong platform and may become vulnerable to variety of hacks and other things that are happening. I am very sorry that I could not use my presentation despite loading it twice, but I think this was the gist of my talk. If the time permit, I can repeat these slides, but I think in the interest of time and to respect other speakers, I will like to thank for your patient listening. Thank you.